Hi, my team's name is Beethoven, and my teammates are Roberto Carlos Vidovich, Carlos Simon, Hector Joseph Solis, Rayleigh Colin, Jamil Esteban, and me, Fania Jasso. And today we are going to present about Western art music. As you know, Western art music has been shaped over the centuries by various cultural influences, transforming both its forms and styles. In this context, cultural influences on Western music refers how to social, religious, philosophical, and political factors have left their mark on the evolution of music in Europe and by extension in the Americas. These topics covers a wide range of elements from medieval sacred music to the modern innovation of contemporary composers. Throughout this analysis, we will explore the interactions between music and different cultures, such as the impact of the European Renaissance and polyphony, the influence of religious music during the Middle Age, and how philosophical movements like Romanticism and Modernism redefined the concept of expression in the music. We will also examine the repercussion of global exchanges, colonization, and migration on the development of distinctive musical styles. This approach will help us to understand how cultural elements have influenced the creation and reception of musical works throughout history, highlighting the significance of this influence in the evolution of Western music as we know it today.
Hi, my name is Carlos and I'm going to explain the historical context focusing on the medieval era, the Renaissance, and the Baroque. The seeds of Western art music were sown in the medieval era, a time of spiritual devotion and societal transformation. Monophobic chant, the accompanying of a single melodic line, dominated religious ceremonies. As centuries passed, polyphony emerged, introducing multiple melodic lines who went together in intricate harmonies to Notre Dame School, a significant center of musical innovation in the 12th century, further propelled this evolution. The Renaissance, it was like a rebirth of the humanism. The Renaissance it was a period of cultural and artistic flourishing, marked a significant turning point in Western art music. Humanism, a philosophical movement, emphasized human potential and individual expression, infused music with a new ability. Polyphonic textures became increasingly complex, and a cappella vocal music, such as madrigals, celebrity of poetry through song. Also, the Baroque. The Baroque era, it was like a lot of drama and emotion. The Baroque era, characterized by its dramatic and emotional intensity, brought forth a world of musical innovation. Composers thought to evoke strong feelings in their listeners, employing elaborate ornamentation and dynamic contrast. Opera and synthesis of music drama and visual spectacle emerged as a popular art from the concerto, a musical composition, a solo instrument or group of instruments accompanied by an orchestra also gained prominence. Thank you.
The evolution of musical instruments in Western music has been developed through the path of the years, and this has been a rich journey that has been shaped by technological advancements and also cultural exchanges of different countries. And also, it has been changing the music because of this. I'm going to explain some of these cultural influences of the instruments. The first instruments that were implemented in the Western art music were such as lyres, oboes, and pan flutes. These were influenced by civilizations such as Mesopotamia, Egypt, and Greece. The Greek philosophy helped the art also to influence the musical theory that we actually know nowadays. Then, in the medieval period, instruments were such as harp, flutes, and lutes, but also percussion instruments. We will see some of these percussion instruments that were implemented. The cultural influence that we had in the medieval period was the Islamic Golden Age. With this, the lute that was like a type of flute was, and also the percussor to the guitar. Then it was introduced to Europe by Spain. Also, the Crusade exposed instruments to influence the development of some string instruments. Then, in the Renaissance period, we have something like viols, harpsichords, and also wind instruments became prominent on this time period. And some of the cultural influence that we had here is the Italian craftsmanship. This developed the best string instruments that we could see in those moments. And also the contact with Africa and Asia introduced new rhythms and instruments. Then in the Baroque period, we can see the violin family, such as the violin, the viola, and the cello. And also we can see the pipe organ, the bow, and the bassoon. The Italian and French music influenced on the instruments on this period of time. This was very important because the music from those countries helped to improve to change of how to touch, how to play the music. Then on the classical period, the piano replaced the harpsichord, and also wind instruments and bass instruments gained some refinement. Something important that happened in this period was the Industrial Revolution. This improved the metallurgy and woodworking. That this made the instruments to make them more resistant. Then, in the Romantic period, we could see instruments that were demanded on larger orchestras, and also some advancements that were needed on these orchestras. Also, the cultural innovation was that composers incorporated folk instruments on their pieces. And nowadays, in the 20th century, we could see the synthesizer, the electric guitar, and some of the newest instruments that we could see nowadays. It revolutionized music. The percussion expanded, and nowadays something that was influenced was the African American culture that this implemented the jazz.
European composers began to incorporate Eastern moderns, particularly from Asia and the Middle East. This exotic scale introduced new emotional depths and complexities to Western music. Composers like Guillermo Dufay and John Dunstable utilized these models to create hauntingly and African rhythms have become cornerstone to become contemporary music characterized by the complexity of syncopation music infusion. Their music and vibrant energy spontaneously created different types of patterns with the vibrant energy, making them revolutionize genres like jazz, pop, hip hop, iconic music like as Duke Ellington. And Eastern music was influenced by the Western, like Darbulka expanded the harmonic possibilities of the Attic exotic flair to Western music. Composers such as Maurice Ravel and Claude Debussy incorporate these elements, creating distinct and enhancing atmospheres in their work. In conclusion, the integration of Asian models, African rhythm, and Middle East scales into Western music underscores the power of cultural exchange. By embracing this diverse influence with Western music, has evolved into a rich and multifaceted art form, resonating deeply with audience worldwide.
Western music has been profoundly shaped by various influences, including classical music, classical traditions, religious music, folk melodies, and the cultural exchanges brought about by colonization, migration, and globalization. The structured harmonies of classical and Baroque periods, for example, laid the groundwork for modern musical theory. Similarly, African rhythms introducing during the transatlantic slaves trade greatly influences genres like jazz, blues, and late rock and pop music. Today, relevance of these influences is evident in how they continue to inspire contemporary music. Genres like hip hop and electronic music borrow from both classical structure and global rhythm. For example, film score by composers like Hans Zimmer often blend orchestral arrangement with electronic elements, showing casing and seamless connection between past tradition and modern innovation. This evolution mirrors our cultural experience. Music is no longer confined by geographic or stylistic boundaries thanks to streaming platform and global connectivity. It reflects our diverse identities and shared human experience, allow us to engage with history while shaping the future and artistic expression. In this way, Western music not only tells the story of its past, but also united us in the present through a rich and evolving soundscape.
I would like to talk about the deep connection between historical images, musical score, and instruments, keywords that have shaped the development of Western music. Images have not only reflect society and culture, but also the musical evolution of each era. Musical scores, in particular, allow us to access the music as it was conceived by composers, helping us understand how instruments from different periods were used to express emotions and tell stories. Take, for example, the Renaissance, a period in which the madrigal, a polyphonic vocal form, became one of the most important musical expressions. Composers like Claudio Monteverdi and Joaquín des Pérez wrote madrigals that, with their melodic beauty and harmonic complex, capture the deepest human feeling. These musical fragments were not only a delight to the ear, but also reflect a shift in the conception of music as an expression of human emotion. As time moved on, we encounter Baroque music, where the fugues emerged as one of the most important of the music organization. Composers like Johann Sebastian Bach took the fugue to its highest expression, using the counterpoint techniques to create complex interactions between voices. Uh, art of fugue, where the voices intertwine almost mathematically but with profound emotional beauty.
To finish our presentation, here we have the references. Thank you.